You do not hear the predator at first. That is what makes it dangerous. Not the claws, not the teeth. The danger begins when something in the dark learns that your fire gets smaller before dawn. For one night, that may mean nothing. For 2 nights, it is a pattern. For 3 nights, it is information. And in the Ice Age, information could kill you. This is not a story about a monster with a human mind. A lion is not planning like a general. A leopard is not drawing a map in the dirt. But many predators are excellent at a simpler and older skill, noticing what happens again and again. When does the camp grow quiet? Where do the children sleep? Who walks away alone? When does the fire fade? What do your ancestors do every single night, without realizing they are teaching the darkness? For most of human history, night was not empty. It had eyes in it. Your ancestors were dangerous animals too. They carried sharp stone tools. They threw spears. They controlled fire, told stories, guarded children, and learned the habits of the animals around them. But they were not above the food chain in the clean modern way you imagine. They were inside it. The fossil record is blunt about this. At Swartkrans in South Africa, the paleontologist C.K. Brain studied bones from early human relatives and argued that ancient hominins were not only hunters, but sometimes the hunted. Tooth marks, broken bones, and carnivore dens showed a harder truth than the old heroic image of early humans ruling the savanna. Before your ancestors became expert controllers of landscapes, they were small-bodied primates trying not to be dragged into the dark. Could a camp routine become a weakness? To understand that, do not start with the human, start with the predator. A large predator does not need language to learn a schedule. It needs memory. It needs hunger. It needs repeated cues. Modern field biologists have shown again and again that predators respond to patterns in prey behavior. Spotted hyenas, studied for decades by Kay Holkamp and her colleagues, are not dumb scavengers with laughing mouths. They are socially complex carnivores that recognize individuals, remember relationships, and adjust their behavior in flexible ways. That does not mean a hyena understands your bedtime. It means a hyena can notice where food appears, where danger waits, and when a group becomes easier to approach. A leopard can learn trails. A lion can learn water holes. A wolf can learn the edge of a herd. A hyena can learn that noise means bones, meat scraps, infants, weakness, or opportunity. Is that so different from a modern raccoon learning the exact night your trash goes out? Now move that intelligence backward. Move it into a world without doors. No locks. No electric light. No walls thick enough to make the night disappear. You are lying near a fire on a patch of trampled ground. The air smells of smoke, sweat, old hide, and crushed grass. A ring of people sleeps close together, because distance is dangerous. A few children breathe in quick bursts beside their mothers. An elder lies with one eye half open. Someone is supposed to feed the fire, but sleep keeps pulling the camp downward. Beyond the orange light, there is a line the eyes cannot cross. That line moves with the flame. When the fire rises, the world is bigger. When it sinks, the night walks closer. At Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa, archaeologists have found some of the earliest evidence that ancient human relatives used fire deep inside a cave. The dates and details are debated as new work appears, but the central point is clear enough. Fire became one of the great shields in human evolution. It cooked food, it warmed bodies, it gathered people into a circle, and, probably, it changed the behavior of predators around your ancestors. Richard Wrangham, the biological anthropologist known for the cooking hypothesis, argued that fire and cooking reshaped human bodies by making food easier to digest. But fire was not only a kitchen. At night, it was a signal, a barrier, a warning, a glowing statement that this group is awake, clustered, and dangerous. But a shield that repeats itself can also become a clock. Every evening, the smoke rises at the same place. Every evening, scraps are thrown behind the same rock. Every evening, a tired hunter walks to the stream after eating. Every evening, the noisy children fall silent first. Every evening, the strongest adults stay close to the fire until their heads drop forward. A predator does not need to understand your culture. It only needs to learn the edges of your routine. This is where the story becomes uncomfortable. Your ancestors survived, partly because they were predictable to each other. A camp has to run on habits. Someone tends the fire. Someone watches the children. Someone listens for movement. Someone sleeps in the center because they are injured, pregnant, old, or very young. Without routine, the group collapses into chaos. But routine also creates openings. The same path to water, the same place for food waste, the same sleeping arrangement. The same lazy moment just before dawn, when the body is coldest and attention is weakest. Have you ever locked your door at night without thinking? That is routine protecting you. But if something watches long enough, routine can also reveal you. The deep past was full of this tension. Your ancestors were not helpless. By 40,000 years ago, Homo sapiens were making sophisticated tools, ornaments, pigments, and symbolic objects. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, researchers found engraved ochre and shell beads that show minds capable of memory, identity, and shared meaning. At Schöningen in Germany, much older wooden spears show that earlier humans could build serious hunting weapons hundreds of thousands of years before your world existed. This was not a species stumbling blindly through nature. This was a species learning the rules. But predators had rules too. A cave hyena could crush bone with jaws built for leftovers and carcasses. A leopard could carry prey into a tree. A lion could test a herd, fail, and test again. A wolf could follow weakness at the edge. Predators are not just muscles moving through darkness. They are attention with teeth. Now imagine one animal watching your camp for several nights. On the first night, it smells the smoke and stays away. Fire is strange. Humans are noisy. A thrown stone hurts. The predator circles wide, nose low, body hidden by grass. On the second night, it notices something. The people are loud when the sky is orange. They eat. They scrape hides. They talk with their hands. Then the noise thins. Children drift inward. Adults stop moving. The fire drops after the moon reaches a certain place. On the third night, the predator finds the waste pile. Bones. Fat. Burned scraps. A smell map of your life. This is not a villain discovering a secret. This is an animal doing what survival built it to do. It follows repetition. It measures risk. It waits for the easiest mistake. The mistake may be small. A child wakes and crawls toward the edge. A young hunter goes out to urinate beyond the light. An old woman carries ashes away before dawn. A wounded man sleeps too far from the center because his leg throbs in the heat. One tiny separation. One dark gap. One routine step taken without fear because it was safe last night. Was it actually safe? Or was it only untested? Ancient camps probably developed defenses that were as much social as physical. Not fortress walls. Habits. Sleeping close. Keeping fires alive. Placing vulnerable people near the middle. Throwing refuse away from the sleeping area. Posting watchers. Choosing elevated ground or cave mouths with visibility. Making noise when something moved outside the circle. The archaeologist Lynn Wadley, through work at Sabudu Cave in South Africa, helped show how Middle Stone Age people used plant bedding and ash in ways that could manage insects and living spaces. That kind of detail matters. A camp was not just a random pile of bodies. It was technology made from fire, smell, placement, and memory. Still, every solution creates a new pattern. If refuse is always dumped downhill, scavengers learn downhill. If watchers always relax before sunrise, danger learns sunrise. If the camp always returns to the same cave mouth, the cave mouth becomes part of the predator's map. This is the counterintuitive twist. The more intelligent your ancestors became, the more patterns they created. Culture made them safer. Culture also made them readable. A spear is a pattern. A hearth is a pattern. A trail is a pattern. A bedtime is a pattern. Even cooperation, the great human superpower, leaves tracks. This is why mobility mattered. Hunter-gatherers often moved camp, followed seasonal resources, and changed their use of the landscape. That was not only about food. Movement breaks attention. It stops parasites from building up. It stops waste from turning the camp edge into a feeding station. And it may have stopped predators from learning too much. James Sussman, writing about hunter-gatherer life among the Jew/Huon Sea of southern Africa, has emphasized how deeply social and knowledge-rich foraging life can be. Survival does not come from brute force alone. It comes from knowing weather, tracks, plants, animals, people, and timing. Timing is everything. Leave too late, and heat punishes you. Sleep too far out, and teeth find you. Stay too long, and the landscape starts remembering you. You can picture the night again. The fire is low. The elder notices it first. Not the predator, the silence. There is normal silence, the kind that settles over sleeping bodies. Then there is the other kind. The kind where insects seem to pause. The kind where a bird gives one sharp call and stops. The kind your modern apartment has almost erased from your nervous system, though your body may still know it. Someone lifts their head. Someone touches another person's shoulder. No shouting yet. Shouting wastes breath before the shape is known. A stick goes into the coals. Sparks rise. A child is pulled inward. A young adult stands with a stone in one hand and a burning branch in the other. The predator freezes just beyond the light. For a few seconds, two kinds of intelligence look at each other. One is old hunger. One is shared memory. The predator has learned your routine, but your ancestors can learn too. Tomorrow the waste pile moves. Tomorrow the weakest sleep farther in. Tomorrow the watcher changes. Tomorrow someone breaks the pattern on purpose. This may be one of the oldest arms races in human life. Not just claw against spear, not just fang against fire, pattern against pattern. The predator watches the camp. The camp watches itself. That struggle did not end when the last ice age faded. It changed shape. Today, you do not usually worry that a leopard has learned when your fire dies. But your life is still made of routines. Your phone knows when you wake. Your apps know when you scroll. Your street knows when lights turn off. Your habits leave trails, and other systems learn from them. The ancient lesson is not that routine is bad. Without routine, your ancestors could not protect children, share food, tell stories, heal wounds, or sleep at all. The lesson is older and sharper. A routine becomes dangerous when you forget that it can be seen. That is why your body still tightens at a sound in the dark. That is why a hallway can feel wrong before you know why. That is why silence sometimes has weight. Somewhere deep inside you, there is an ancestor listening to the edge of the firelight, not because the night is empty, because the night may be learning. You do not hear the predator at first, and now you understand why your ancestors listened anyway.